Hi chaps, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a crochet hot water bottle cover. The link for the written pattern is in the description box. Here's one that's not got the cord round yet. I will be adding one, but you can see there's no difference in the stitches around the top area where I'll be adding the cord. So the supplies you're going to need are, of course, a hot water bottle. So this is a standard size hot water bottle, and it measures 32 centimetres long from the bottom to the very top there, and it's 20 centimetres wide across the widest bit there. And you will need a 5mm hook. You don't need a fancy hook, this is just one of my favourites. You will also need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle. I have got a gadget I use for making my cords, so you don't need a fancy gadget like this. There are all sorts of brands that do the same sort of thing, or you can do the old-fashioned method with a cotton reel with the metal loops at the top. There's all sorts of ways of doing it. You could just get some strands and plait a cord as well. All sorts of ways of doing it. And you're also going to need some yarn. I've got some cotton here. There's all sorts of suggestions that I've made in the written pattern for alternatives. I think cotton is a great idea for this particular project. First of all, you're going to need to chain 22 and keep your tension fairly loose. Here's my chain of 22. I'm now going to do a single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and half double crochet and a double crochet into that same chain stitch. So we have a nice cluster of stitches there. Now we need to do double crochet stitches all the way back along here. I'll do this bit off camera. I just finished doing the double crochet stitches all the way to the beginning of the chain. So we've got the cluster here in the second chain from the hook, and then one double crochet stitch in every other chain stitch all the way to the beginning where we started. We now need to do 5 more double crochet stitches in that same chain, so we'll end up with 6 double crochet stitches altogether in that same chain stitch. If you're following along with a written pattern, we are currently halfway along round 1, so each round starts and finishes in about the same spot. I'm tucking in that loose end under the stitches now as I'm working round this end. That's 4, so 2 more. This yarn is a little bit splitty, but not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's 6 stitches I've now got in that chain. I now need to work a double crochet stitch all the way back to here. It doesn't matter exactly where you like to work your double crochets when you're working on the other side of the chain. I like to match mine up exactly in the same spot as the ones on the other side. So that's what mine look like. I'll do the rest of these off camera. I just finished doing the straight section down the other side, double crochet stitches all the way down this side, and we just need to do 3 more double crochet stitches into that chain where we did the cluster of stitches before. We now effectively have 7 stitches in there. If we're counting that skip stitch as a stitch, there's the single crochet stitch, a half double crochet stitch and a double crochet stitch. So that's 4 stitches. There's 19 stitches down the straight section on each side and 6 at the end, so that's 51 stitches altogether. Round 2 will have 50 stitches, and all the other rounds will have 50 stitches, because when we start round 2 we're working onto the single crochet stitch, which is effectively working on to that chain 1. So round 2 will have 50 stitches in it. So all you need to do now is do a double crochet stitch all the way around. You're not doing any more increases at all. Just 1 stitch onto 1 stitch below it. And this is really where you're going to see it curling up. You can see this end here is already curling up. So I'm going to work a bit more off camera here. I'll work all the way around here to this straight section here, and then I'll start the camera up again when I get to around here. So I'm just coming up to this end, and I'm still putting 1 double crochet stitch into every stitch, and you're literally doing exactly the same all the way around. There's no increases at all. 1 double crochet into 1 double crochet, and this end will start curling up as well. And believe it or not, this is all there is to it for the rest of the hot water bottle cover. Nothing fancy or complicated. We're just going to do double crochet stitches all the way around. There's no slip stitches or chaining up between rounds or anything like that. So I've finished going around this end, and we're going to do double crochets all along there and all the way around that end and keep going. I'll put this to one side for a moment and show you on this completed one. Here's what a finished hot water bottle cover looks like. This is what 26 rounds looks like, and for me it's exactly the right length for the height of the hot water bottle. You might want to add a few more rounds, it's entirely up to you. It might depend on your tension anyway. You might find it comes out a bit shorter or more if you do the same number of rounds, so it's up to you how long you want to make yours, how many rounds you want to make it. The last 3 stitches are, you've got the double crochet stitches, then there's a half double crochet and a single crochet stitch. So that's the last 3 stitches that finish right on that edge. And it's all explained in the written pattern. And it's really that simple. It's only really that first round. You've got increased stitches around each end. And I've made some of these for smaller hot water bottles, and you've really just got a shorter chain along the bottom, same number of stitches around each end and fewer rounds. Apart from that, it's exactly the same. If you wish to do an I-cord or something like that around here, there's all sorts of gadgets you can get to make something like that. This is the one I like to use. If I just undo this for a moment, you can see how it looks before you tie the bow up. And because it's effectively done in a spiral, where these 2 bits come out are offset by a row, but when you do the bow up you can't see that they're actually offset. Makes no difference whatsoever really. And I've used a large hook So this is a larger hook than the one I did for the stitches. It just grabs the I-cord a bit better, and I just literally go through between the stitches to grab the I-cord. And for this one I've gone, I think, behind 2, in front of 3. So that bit there, each of these bits here you can see are in front of 3 stitches and behind 2. But you might find it varies, you might find it's better to do it a slightly different combination of numbers of stitches here. And so there we go, that's the finished item. You could add a different colour around the top if you wish, something extra, just a single crochet in a different colour. There's all sorts of things you could do. So I hope this video was useful, and if you're not subscribed already, then that would be really useful. You'll get notifications of future videos. So there we go, and I hope to see you again shortly in another video. Bye for now.